There's Gus. Hey everybody, it's Alan and Gus again. Uh, I just want to talk a few minutes. Just whatever comes to my mind. Uh, if you think about this, think about it. Humans, out of all the creatures on God's earth that He's created, of all the creations, plants, the rocks, everything that there is on this planet, what's the only species that would suffer if the electricity were to go out? If the power grid goes off, it would probably benefit many species. With if there wasn't all these frequency signals and stuff and everything. But humans will be the only creatures that God's made that would suffer extremely if the power were to go out tomorrow. The vast majority of the other animals and plants and everything would probably fare better if us humans didn't have electricity, if the power went out. Now, if you think about this for a minute, think about in the Bible talks about the Ark of the Covenant. It's hard to tell if that. I mean, it's possibly a real thing or not. No one knows. It's interesting. I'm not saying anything about that, but think about this: if God created the earth and the humans and everything on it in the beginning, and then up until now looked at the earth and the all of its inhabitants and everything that he created, he'd possibly be upset with the misuse of electricity. With uh, uh, how where do I begin at how wayward the destruction to the planet that humans have caused since they've been able to grasp uh, electricity, which could be said to be an arc. Like in the Bible, there's specific dimensions mentioned. I'm not sure what they are, and a lot of gold, of course, is required. But it seems a lot like it could be referring to, and well, I would say before I get anyone upset, that's I could care less about that. Um, it's sounds a lot like it could be specific, like electricity based. And if you think about if God created the earth and everything that's on it, and mankind were the only creatures that were to become self-conscious, should I say, not just self-conscious and self-aware. That is, if there were going to further on after becoming self-conscious, house electricity or the arc again. It could be said, because what's an arc? Is a lightning bolt. Anything like that could be an arc. That if God were to allow human the self-conscious humans to harness electricity, that there should be some type of a covenant with it, like, hey, don't destroy the earth, don't kill one another, don't, as if humans already probably were doing that at the time anyways. But people talk about the Ark of the Covenant and say it refers to spiritual stuff and all. It could mean this and that, or actually think of a physical box with poles through it that people carry. It could mean a number of different things. But one thing's for certain, that it can't. No one can say that it isn't possibly also referring to, if mankind, we're the only creatures out of everything that exists on this planet that has uh, uh, that has the ability to contain electricity, which again is an arc. If power line comes down, what does an arc mean? It's not just a big boat, and it's not just some type of a welder. It's could be said. And if a species is going to become self-conscious, and they're going to arrive at a gift like that, which allows for electricity, which allows for climate control, indoor, just all the luxury that we have today that everyone takes for granted, then there should be some type of covenant with it, that you use it responsibly. And I think that's not happened. Anyways, I'm going to make this is a little bit shorter video than my other ones. They take a long time to upload. Yeah, that's something I'd be interested in at some time, if anyone ever wants to talk of these things. Because when I try to talk calmly and sensibly to anyone, well, not anyone, uh, uh, anyone like a religious person about how, I think of these things, they just get shook up and immediately become angry and don't want to hear nothing I have to say. Call me heresy, heresy, it's a heretic, and I just laugh at them because I ain't got nothing to prove. And my mind's open. I'm willing to talk about anything, but that's something I'd like for anyone listening to this video to think about. Even if there was an ark that was made, again, I'm not saying there isn't. It's something that's difficult to prove, but let's say there was an ark, that was in the Old Testament, and it was stolen and brought back and traveled around this and that, and everybody's wondering where it is. Does that, if that's so, does that also mean that God, being the creator of everything, wouldn't make a covenant with man? If I let you harness electricity, what are you going to do with it? I mean, look up how far we've come since we've gotten electricity. Without electricity, there wouldn't be the all the predatory things that you see. There would be no phones, no smart devices or anything like that, where there's people actually pay for videos. I'm going to get mad talking about this, of people torturing animals and stuff like that. Without the ark, that isn't possible. People, pedophiles and just all this horrible stuff that happens online, without the ark, of the covenant. It could be said, a lot of people hear that and say, well, you saying that there isn't no the Ark of the Covenant wasn't real. It could be a lot of things. It's that either or mindset isn't helpful in mine and Gus's world. Or we're fine, we're just fine. But that's something to consider, because all I don't say all jokes aside, because I always like joking. Um, but if you think about it, it could be, And again, I'll just say real quick, like the mark of the beast, for example. Uh, it's it's said to be a mark in someone's hand that has the name and the number and the image of that beast in it, and you can't buy or sell or trade without it. If you start looking into the words a little bit deeper, what is something that humans have in their hand all the time that you can't buy or sell or trade hardly anything without it, that everyone stares at and worships all the time? A smartphone. The smartphone is also the only thing in someone's hand that has the name, the number, and the image of that particular beast in it. And there's a lot more to that I'd like to talk about. And people, again, it's just saying it's a series of negations. It could be said, just things to think about, because it's definitely, I think, a lot of the things, especially related, biblical stuff and related to the experience of life here on this earth, is all one thing, not separated, for Sundays and Wednesdays, or to be, put in the past or talk about in the future. Because I mean, seriously, it's if you write on the mark of the beast, real quick, there's a lot, I could go on and on about this and not talk to anybody unless their head don't start spinning like the Exorcist when I start talking about this. The the if you mark on something on a piece of paper or a chalkboard, whether you write a letter from the alphabet or a line or a dot or anything, that's marking on it, right? If I go up to a vehicle and take my key, which I would do this, and go down the side of it, isn't that marking it? So how would that be different than looking at a phone screen and typing in letters? Would that be different than if I were to have a piece of paper here and write on it with the same letters? That's a mark. Everyone has it in their hand all the time. And as far as worship goes, that all they do, you have to bow down and stare at it, and it has the image. And there's a lot more stuff that in it. Interesting subject material, but I'm going uh, uh, go ahead and wrap it up. Again, I want to try to keep them short. The other videos take a long time to upload. Uh, yeah, there's lots of things, and if anyone sees these videos and want to discuss anything, I'm more than willing. I'm fascinated with everything, but I'm mainly fascinated with this subject matter, that when I begin to speak of it around certain people, the certain people become uneasy and say, no, no, especially the religious types, because I feel like I'm here to pretty much call out the hypocrites and, false prophets or whatever. And I'm not saying I'm far from perfect. I'm certainly no minister, preacher, this and that and everything, but those are just titles, sounds that are made to, like any word is basically. But yeah, that's something to consider. The Ark of the Covenant. If God He is in control of everything and has made everything. Then electricity, the sun, the moon, the planet, and everything on it were the only creatures that there is. Just to recap real quick, that have had the ability to get the luxurious lifestyle of that, of particularly North America or anywhere in the West, that we live today comes all from that one thing, the ark. And it seems to me that if mankind were to figure it out, God wouldn't say, "Oh, I didn't know about that," or "Oh, you figured that out." I think He would see it coming and say, "Okay, if you're going to house and harness the power of electricity, this ark, flash, spark, or whatever, then there needs to be a covenant. You need to appreciate things a lot better, and just stuff like that." But if anybody sees this, let me know what you think, or just give me a shout. I'm always open to discussion. That's a few things I wanted to talk about for a minute. Gus, wake up. Well, Gus don't want to get up yet. Say bye, Gus. Thanks for watching, and I will get another one out here soon. Remember, be nice to everybody, please, and that's something I myself am working on too.